Check, 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 check. Check. You know when the best time to buy school supplies is and stationery supplies? Right when summer begins and you won't need to use those things. Hi, I'm Chrissy. This video, completely pointless, but it is something I made. Let's go. So I went to the store and I was like, the last video I really liked that I did traditional video with, I found some kids paint and was like, you know what? We're gonna go with it. So I was like, let's go to Walmart and see what we have. So I really could not find anything that I liked. Nothing was good at Walmart except these Crayola brush pens that I've seen before and I've wanted to try. But the stupid people at Walmart decided to put it on the highest shelf and I was too embarrassed to ask anyone to get it down for me. And it didn't have a price tag on it, and I'm not gonna buy something that I don't know the price of. So I was just like, you know what, let's just move on and find something else. There was really like nothing good, like nothing was like speaking to me. So I just had like to grab like the stuff I was willing to pay for and then I felt like it might work for a video, and if it didn't, I'll just use it as it was, like regular stationery supplies. But this picture did turn out way better than I thought it would, so that is great. All of the supplies I did get were the Pen Gear brand. I thought it might be best if I bought stuff that came from the same kind of brand so I could see how well they worked together. And before I even start, I'm going to say that the pen kind of liner markers that I got, they're really good. I was pretty surprised with how well the black one worked. It was super smooth, super easy to use, so if you're a beginner artist and you're like, I need a really cheap liner and I want multiple color liners and you just want to start drawing, I feel like these liners work well. But on my sketchbook paper, the highlighters that I used to kind of color in, it kept smudging the liner, so these are kind of ones that will smear. That's the only flaw I had with it, except when I used it on regular computer paper, it didn't smear, but on my sketchbook paper, it did. So it might just be me, depending on which paper I used. So anyway, that's what I have to say about these supplies. Oh, the highlighters, very nice. One set is like, they come in the same box, but one set of the highlighters is more pastel and ones are like darker, but I used the majority of the pastels. I didn't really touch the darker ones. But overall, the supplies I used very good, and I already had sticky notes and like tape already sitting on my desk, so I just used regular stationery supplies that I needed to use in case I needed to add something. I started out with layering all of these kinds of pieces of paper. I used graph paper, I used regular computer paper, and then I grabbed my sticky notes and I make sure they were all going in the same kind of vertical direction. And this is the most like non-thinking art I've ever done. I was just like, looked up a Pinterest picture of my inspiration, and which I'll put in the description if you want to see, and I just kind of went for it and I was like, I want to mimic this kind of style with all these like different patterns, circles, and shapes. So that's what I did, and of course it wouldn't be my art if it didn't have a character somewhere on it. And this is kind of the point of the sketchbook that I'm working on right now, is that I have a character on each page. I usually try to do one character I haven't drawn, but this is the third time I've drawn my artist character in my sketchbook, and it probably won't be the last. So I wanted to stick to a character that I felt like I would draw fairly easily, but I didn't, because this drawing actually was very difficult because I was trying to scrunch her all up in the same pose, and I was like, I want to get her full body on this piece of paper, but I drew her head massive, so clearly that isn't going to work out. So I ended up just trying my best to get the majority of her on there. I wasn't really sure how I was going with this. I wasn't sure really what I was doing, but I know I wanted her to look a little smug because I was listening to music as I was drawing, and I was listening to the same song on loop over and over, and it was Hello Hello by Trixie Mattel. If you watch any of me and Kate's streams, you will know that for one of those streams, I was singing that song non-stop, and it was stuck in my head, and it's such a good song, and I really like it. So this whole time I was drawing this, I was listening to that song, kind of singing along. So my picture kind of brings that energy that song gives me. Since this is a stationary art challenge, I wanted to make it as close to the way I wanted to draw in like middle school and high school, like kind of things that I wanted to create, but just like didn't have the time with any of the supplies I had. And I also, growing up, I didn't have these supplies, okay? I didn't have these nice like push highlighters. I might have had like colorful pens, but I surely did not have these. And not saying that to my parents. My parents gave me all like everything I asked for. But like school was not this elite for me, okay? You're allowed to get like a cheap marker set that was washable and some cheap crayons with no highlighters or pens that were multicolored, just like black, red, or blue. None of this rainbow stuff, but anyway. So I was like, let me just go into my roots here and I'll draw as I felt like I would doing this in like class. And a lot of tape. I didn't have a glue stick, and I was like using any other form of like bonding this paper to this page would be illegal if it wasn't tape, because that's the thing I used the most trying to get things in my sketchbook. So she's a thick one, okay? There's a lot of tape on here. And I'm so shocked I didn't go through a whole roll of tape, to be honest. But this page is pretty simple and it's pretty forward. It's a lot of patterns. It's a lot of chaos, I feel like, but that's what makes it good. Here, I didn't want to cover the whole background I did because I spent a while on it. I don't want to just cover up the whole thing. So I made myself a little border around my picture and I cut it out with a box cutter. People don't usually have box cutters when they're in school, but shut up. There's no other way for me to gonna get that, so. And I accidentally also cut off a little piece of the hair, and I was so sad, but I put it on, don't worry, it stays. She's not forever gone. She's just a little lost. Anyway, I taped that on, and I did my best. Also, I forgot to mention, life hack here, if you ever want to be able to close your sketchbook and not have a piece of paper bending in the middle of it, just cut the piece of paper in half and put one side on the other and one side on the other side. Not a big deal. It's pretty easy. Go do that if you need to. I'll wait. Anyway, I also wanted to add a border, which I already did in the process of adding the paper. I grabbed my masking tape and new wood stick, and I didn't want the marker to bleed through that I was going to use, so I stuck the masking tape and just draw on the masking tape as a border. Another life hack. There you go. I'm kind of just saving your sketchbooks here, don't mind me. As I was adding the picture in the middle, I was very like, this isn't done. I need more. What can I add more to this? And my brain went, you idiot. Just add more paper and tape. This wouldn't be a stationary challenge if you didn't have 1,000 pieces of paper on your sketchbook and tape. So that's what I did. I was like I'm really into the way have you seen the font where it's like newspaper art, like newspaper font is cut out and it's like a different font every time and it's like a different color? So that's kind of what I was doing, and I took one of the lyrics from the song I was listening to, Hello Hello by Trixie Mattel. Thank you. And I chose my favorite lyric in the song, and I went ahead and wrote all of the letters that I needed on the piece of paper. This was probably the most frustrating part, because I had to I wasn't just cutting the paper with the scissors, I was tearing it to make it look like it was torn out, and I kept tearing the pieces of paper in half. Because I'm just that good. Because I'm just that good of an artist. And then I'd draw the font and like the little letter, and sometimes I just wouldn't like it. So it was annoying. And then after, for a little bit, while the highlighter was like on the paper, the pen just wouldn't write over the highlighter, which was weird to me. So if you use these pens and highlighters, which they're not bad, like for the price they are, it's pretty good. Like, I would use again and to buy again probably. Because when you're using these together, I'd make sure to figure out which way you want to do it. If you want to do highlighter or pen first, or pen or highlighter first, and just mess around with it. If you do get these supplies, just letting you know. But anyway. Oh, and mess around with paper you use, because sometimes different papers give you different scenarios. Anyway, I chose the lyric I wanted, and then I added it, and I used my little tape to add it. If these letters fall off in the future and the tape doesn't hold, I'm suing Scotch Tape. No, I'm just kidding. I doubt they'll stay. Well, actually, they've stayed for about, I mean, I did this like 3 days ago, and I haven't had any problems with it. My sketchbook is now dummy thick, okay? And I added stuffing to my sketchbook, and this surely made it like dumb. Like, it's, my sketchbook will not be able to close when I'm through with it. Okay, that's kind of the goal in the sketchbook, is it not though? But anyway, this stationery kind of sketchbook challenge was such a good way to like start like summer drawing, I feel, because it's like school's wrapping up, and I'm not someone who's in school currently, but I do love the energy that school brings when I was in it and drawing and ignoring every single responsibility I had because I was too busy drawing and playing Minecraft. And I hold no regret for that. Anyway, this is my final drawing. I hope you enjoyed me rambling on about it. Thank you. Thank you for all the support you guys give me. I love you a lot. And my next video will be an animation meme. I'm trying to do traditional art, animation meme, speed draw. Traditional art, animation meme, speed draw. Just to keep our schedule consistent. Thank you, thank you, thank you for watching. Here's my final drawing. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.